Welcome to Chapter for Canada's History, Part 2. War of 1812. After the defeat of Napoleon Bonaparte's fleet in the Battle of Trafalgar, 1805, the Royal Navy ruled the waves. The British Empire, which included Canada, fought to resist Bonaparte's bid to dominate Europe. This led to American resentment at British interference with their shipping. Believing it would be easy to conquer Canada, the United States launched an invasion in June 1812. The Americans were mistaken. Canadian volunteers and First Nations, including Shawnee led by Chief Tecumseh, supported British soldiers in Canada's defense. In July, Major General Sir Isaac Brock captured Detroit, but was killed while defending against an American attack at Queenston Heights, near Niagara Falls, a battle the Americans lost. In 1813, Lieutenant Colonel Charles de Salaberry and 460 soldiers, mostly French Canadians, turned back 4,000 American invaders at Châteauguay, south of Montreal. In 1813 the Americans burned Government House and the Parliament buildings in York, now Toronto. In retaliation in 1814, Major General Robert Ross led an expedition from Nova Scotia that burned down the White House and other public buildings in Washington, D.C. By 1814, the American attempt to conquer Canada had failed. The British paid for a costly Canadian defense system, including the citadels at Halifax and Quebec City, the naval drydock at Halifax and Fort Henry at Kingston, today popular historic sites. The present-day Canada-USA border is partly an outcome of the War of 1812, which ensured that Canada would remain independent of the United States. The Duke of Wellington sent some of his best soldiers to defend Canada in 1814. He then chose Bytown, Ottawa, as the endpoint of the Rideau Canal, part of a network of forts to prevent the USA from invading Canada again. Wellington, who defeated Napoleon in 1815, therefore played a direct role in founding the national capital. In 1813, Laura Secord, pioneer wife and mother of 5 children, made a dangerous 19-mile, that is 30 kilometers journey on foot to warn Lieutenant James Fitzgibbon of a planned American attack. Her bravery contributed to victory at the Battle of Beaver Dams. She is recognized as a heroine to this day. Rebellions of 1837–38. In the 1830s, reformers in Upper and Lower Canada believed that progress toward full democracy was too slow. Some believed Canada should adopt American Republican values, or even try to join the United States. When armed rebellions occurred in 1837–38 in the area outside Montreal, and in Toronto, the rebels did not have enough public support to succeed. Lord Durham, an English reformer sent to report on the rebellions, recommended that Upper and Lower Canada be merged and given responsible government, which means that the ministers of the Crown must have the support of a majority of elective representatives in order to govern. Responsible government 1840. Responsible government means the ministers of the Crown must have the support of a majority of elective representatives in order to govern. 1840, Upper and Lower Canada were united as the Province of Canada. Sir Louis Hippolyte Lafontaine, Robert Baldwin, and Joseph Howe in Nova Scotia worked to form a responsible government. Nova Scotia was the first British North American colony to attain first responsible government status in 1847–48. In 1848–49 the Governor of United Canada Lord Elgin introduced responsible government. In current system if a government loses a confidence in Assembly, it must resign. Sir Louis Hippolyte Lafontaine became first leader of responsible government in Canada in 1849. Confederation. From 1864 to 1867, representatives of Nova Scotia, New Brunswick and Province of Canada, that is Ontario, and Quebec worked to establish a new country called Dominion of Canada. These men are known as Fathers of the Confederation. They created 2 levels of government, federal and provincial. Each province would elect its own legislature, and have control such as education and health. Sir Leonard Tilley in 1860 forgave a name Dominion of Canada. It refers to dominion from sea to sea, and from rivers to the end of the earth. The British Parliament passed British North America Act 1867. Dominion of Canada was officially born on July 1, 1867. Until July 1, 1982 it was celebrated as Dominion Day. Today it is celebrated as Canada Day. In 1867, Sir John Alexander Macdonald became Canada's first Prime Minister. $10 bill has his portrait. Sir George Etienne Cartier was key architect of Confederation, led Quebec into Confederation, and helped negotiate entry of Northwest Territories, Manitoba, and British Columbia into Canada. King George V assigned Canada's national colors, white and red, in 1921, the colors of our national flag today. Dominion of Canada $1 bill shows King George V. Expansion of the Dominion. 1867 Ontario, Quebec, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick. 1870 Manitoba, Northwest Territories. 1871 British Columbia. 1873 Prince Edward Island. 1880 Transfer of the Arctic Islands to Northwest Territories. 1898 Yukon Territory. 1905 Alberta, Saskatchewan. 1949 Newfoundland and Labrador. 1999 Nunavut. Newfoundland and Labrador was last province and Nunavut was last territory to be added to the Dominion. Thank you for watching. For more content on Canadian Citizenship Test, like, subscribe and share.